Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we will learn how to enter data into Eview's software and how we can make our own data sheet in Eview software. Like, let's suppose if we have cross-sectional data, how we can make our data file, and if we have time series data, so how we can make our data file, and if we have a panel data, so how we can make the data file database in Eviews, and then how we can make entry into the Eviews. So first let's go to open Eview software. This is Eviews 8. Now this dialog box is actually showing us that how we can open the data. Now create new work file. If you want to create our own file, so we can use this menu. Open existing file. If we have some existing file, so we can open it from here, or open a foreign file such as Excel file, or if we have some other files, outside files, so we can open it from here. So first let's open a new file. Like how we can create a file for different types of data. For example, transactional data, time series data, and panel data. So let's start with the creation of file. Okay, now this window, this dialog box will come, in which we will define that what type of data is actually I'm going to design. Number one, that is unstructured, undated data. That is what we call cross-sectional data. So for cross-sectional data, we will use this option. And in cross-sectional data, we do not need to mention the units, and we do not need to mention the years. We will just mention the number of observation for a particular cross-sectional unit that we want to observe. So how many observation will be there? So probably we will have almost 1000 observations. We will click on OK. So now this is a spreadsheet has been made for us, in which we can now make our own further variables data. Now we have a C that is constant, and it is empty, no data is available. If we double click on this, so we will get this window open. We can see that this spreadsheet is blank because no data is available on it. Similarly, if we can click, this is a residual. Residual is again blank. The reason is that no analysis has been done so far, so that's why it is blank. Now how to create more variables, how to add more variables to this uh, data sheet. So I'll right click and then click on new button, and then select here a series, because we are going to develop a variable. So for that we will use series. Click here on the series and then define the variable. Like let's suppose my variable is age, so I'll click on this OK button, and we will have the variable age. It is without data, and I will need to put data in it. Okay, now next, how to create in another variable. You can create in as number of variable that you are actually required. We can create a variable from here. Like click on the object button and then click on the new object, and again you will have the same type of dialog box, from which you can define your variable. Like my next variable is, let's assume that is satisfaction, or it can be income of the individual, and then click OK. So we will get income variable. Now our next step is how to put data into this database that we have created. So first of all, let's suppose I'm going to put data in the age. Click over here and then go to click on the edit. If you are going to put data over here, so it is not going to take any type of data because this file is logged. So in order to open this file, first you will be required to click on the edit and then type here your data. For example, like let's suppose the person whom data I'm going to enter is having an age of 24. So I've put here 24 and then press enter. Then again click on another data, another person data. For example, like I'm entering a data of a person with the age of, let's suppose, 28. Okay, I'm entering data of the person from the questionnaire or from any source whose age is, let's suppose, 32. Let's suppose the next person age is 34, and so on. Now again click on this button in order to close this file, so that no changes will be made in this file further, and then close it. So we have probably now data over here. Now what is the income? Double click on the income, or either we can open it from by right click on the file and ask the button to open, and now click again on this and then click on edit, and now you can enter a data. Like let's suppose a person with the age of 24 can have an income of, let's suppose, per annum income is $200, for example $300, for example $400, $4,000, for example $5,000. In this way we can enter the data into any number of variables in which we are interested. Then again click on the edit so that the file may be closed, and now click on this. Now if I want to save this file, so how I can save this file? I'll go to the file option and then click on save. So where I want to save this file, I will tell the software that I want to save this file with the name of income and age data, and we'll want to save this file over here in the second class, and we'll click on save. So the software will tell you that either we want to save the data with single precision or double precision. I will say that double precision. Now close the file. I don't need the file furthermore. Now how to open that file? Now go to basic econometrics where the file is actually lying, second class, and there is the file. This is actually the file. The file is income and age data. So we will now just double click on this file and the file will automatically be reopened. Now this is actually the file. You can see income data is available, and if we double click on the age data is available. Okay, so this was how we can put time series data into cross-sectional data into the Eviews. Now how to do the analysis? Like let's suppose, for example, I'm interested to find out the descriptive statistics of this age and income. So I will go to the option, quick quick option, and then, for example, if I'm interested in descriptive statistics, so I want to find out descriptive statistics, so go to the group statistics, then descriptive statistics, and then click on the individual samples or common samples. So I'm interested in common sample. Now define the variable. For example, I want to find out the descriptive statistics of the age, and I want to find out the descriptive statistics of the income. So write down both of these variables from the keyboard and then click OK. Now we will get the descriptive statistics like the mean value of the age, the median value of the age, the maximum value of the age, and the minimum value of the age, and similarly the income. So the person with a mean value of 29.5 age is having 1430 income. The median value, the minimum value, the maximum value, you can transfer these results to MS Word by selecting these whole data set and then click on copy and then OK, and then put it into the other MS Word file or the file in which you are interested. These are actually the results. Like this is how we can bring the analysis results from the Eviews to the MS Word file. So we can put a table on that, insert a table, and accordingly it can be used for the analysis purpose. Okay, this was in this video we learned that how we can enter the data this is into the views, particularly when the data type is the cross-sectional data. Now how we can put the other form of data, for example, like if the data is cross-sectional time series data. Now again go to the file menu, open a new work file, and then click on the work file and then define over here. Like for example, I have a time series data. A time series data is a dated data with a regular frequency. So now click on this. Now you will have to tell the software that what type of frequency is actually this data has. For example, it is a semi-annually data, quarterly data, monthly data, bi-annually data, fortnight data, 10 days data, weekly data, and then you can have a week, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, like working days only and non-working days including, daily custom weeks, and inter-day data, and integrated data. These are all the different types of time series data that we can collect. So I have just click on the annual data. Now what is the starting date of the time period? So I'll put here that I my data sample is from 2005 to 2010 or 2015. Okay, 2015, and then click on OK. So you will get again a new database file which is having an C constant, that is without any sort of results, and again you have the residuals, that is again without any sort of results. Now again I want to create a variable, let's suppose GDP of my country. So I'll click on the new object button, and then will ask, we'll click on the series. Actually this is a series, and then click or define the variable, that what sort of variable is this, is GDP, and then click OK. So we will get the variable GDP. Now click on this, and you can enter the data. Like for example I want to enter the data, so just click on the edit again, and then enter the data. For example this is actually the GDP, this is actually the GDP, and these are the different values of the GDP, and then click on the button. Now how to save this file? Again go to the option save, click on the save, and define where you want to save the file. So let's suppose I want to save the file with desktop and with the name that is GDP. Now click on save, the file will be saved. Okay, with double precision. Now go to, let's close this window and go to again to the desktop and see that either the file has been saved or not. Now this is actually the GDP data. Now if I click on this file, probably we will have the same data file, that is with the GDP. Now if you want to find out the descriptive statistics, again go to the quick option, group descriptive and descriptive, and then common descriptive. So click on the GDP, and now click on this value, you will get the descriptive statistics of the GDP. Okay, now let's suppose I have two data set. For example, now create another data set, that is GDP, and now we have an interest rate. Let's suppose we have another variable, that is interest rate. Interest rate. Okay, then click on this, enter data in the interest rate, and now again click over here, and then click on edit. Again enter, let's suppose the rate of interest is 15%, and then we have 14% in the preceding year, and then we have 16% in the next year, and we have 15%, so 15% in the next year. Okay, then click on this file, and now I want to find out, let's suppose, the correlation between the GDP and the interest rate. So now go to the correlation table and define the variable like interest rate, and what is the next variable? The next variable is GDP. Click on the GDP and interest rate, and then you will have the correlation table. Like correlation of interest rate with interest rate is 1, and the correlation of the GDP with the interest rate is 0.866, and the correlation of the GDP with the interest rate is 0.866, and the correlation of the GDP with that of the GDP is will always be 1. So this is how we can compute the, we can copy the results by selecting these data and then putting it in the next in the MS Word file or any some other type of file. This was how we can compute. Now how, if I am interested to find out the regression analysis, how we can do a regression analysis in Eview. So now there are two ways, like we can have, you click on the quick option and estimate equation, and then define the variable. What are the two type of variable that you have? The dependent variable. The dependent variable, let's suppose my dependent variable is the, I'm just telling, I have the assumption or the theory that it's the interest rate that's affect the GDP. The interest rate is affected by the GDP. So my interest rate variable is dependent variable, and my GDP is actually independent variable. Now there should be a list space between the two variables, so that the software consider these two variables as a separate variable. and also include this c, which is a constant term. Okay, so this is my dependent variable, this is alpha, and this is my dependent variable. Now click on this ok button, and we will get the regression results. The regression result shows that the alpha value is 14 point something, 14.4, and the GDP value beta coefficient is very much small. Its t value, if we go to the t statistics, it is 28, it is significant, and it is 1.7, 1.7, which is insignificant as less than no, 2. And if we see the probability value, so it is more than 1%, it is more than 5%, it is more than 10%, so it is 33%. So it means that the beta value is insignificant. If we see the r square value, we can see the r square value, we can see the f statistics value, which is less than 4. So again, the model is not, overall model is not a good fit. We can copy this file, this data, these results, by selecting these and clicking right click on and copy, again format it, and then put the same into the MS Word file. We can copy the data, we can put the data in any of the MS Word file in which we are interested. This how we can compute the results. I need to open another file, MS Word file, and I should put the data over there. Okay, this is now, I'm interested to put this data, these results over here. So now control V, we will have these results. Now we can put interpretation below the different results. Okay, the next is how we can how we can develop a panel data file. Like let's close this file. How we can develop a panel data file? The panel data file is actually the data file which is based on different years and also the different units, the different cross-sectional units. So now go to the new file. I'll click on new file and work file. I need a work file, and now define over here. Number two, this is balance panel. So balance panel mean that we have cross-sectional unit and we have time-based units. Now, what is the time period? Like we can have a quarterly data of the different companies. We can have annual data of the different companies. Even we can have a monthly share price of the different companies. So my data that I'm just going to consider for this demonstration is annual data of starting from the year that is 2005 to the year 2010, let's assume. And how many cross-sectional units, how many banks? Let's suppose this is the data of the banks. So I'm taking 10 banks. So now click over here. Okay, so we will have different variables, like we have cross-sectional variable. Cross-sectional variable shows the number of units. So we can see that in unit 1 means bank 1 for the year 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we can see bank 2, like this is NBP, this is HBL. So HBL will be represented by 2, coded 2, and its time period will be 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2010. Similarly, if we can see the different, these are year and this is the dated data. Like in the first year, this is 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are actually the time with the cross-sectional units. We can open these both files together. If we select both of the file and we click open, and then we ask the software to open it as a group file, so we can see like HBL in 2005, HBL in 2006, HBL in 2007, and then NBP in 2005, NBP in 2006, NBP. And now we can define some other variables. Like for example, I have the data of assets in this variable.